So, will the Falcons' old habits die hard?
Or just die.
So I stopped being lazy, yeah, and I became creative, and I learned how to create it, and now that pride's for me. So come see, oh come in.
Welcome to the Silver Lining Podcast. I am your host, Sterlington, and this is my co-host, Cam. Don't call me Newton Turner. How you doing, Cam? Hey, I have to throw that one in them for the Panthers week. You know, they see Cam on the podcast and they see Panthers and they like, he got Cam Newton. No. Although Cam Newton an Atlanta fan too on the slick. I'm like, he from College Park.
He'll never admit it. Yeah, he went to work.
Yeah. Oh, he kind of did admit it. I actually remember him saying, he said one time while he was playing still, he said, yeah, I'm a Falcons fan. I root for the Falcons every time they're not playing us. I was like, damn, I know what it's like. Hey, man, when you're a Falcons fan, that should get a chokehold on you.
It does, man.
You just be rooting. Even when you're done with these boys, you be like, but I'm still a Falcons fan, though.
You see how they coming out, brother? I've been around the city. I've been seeing
Hey,
this
man.
coming out the woodworks. I haven't
Bro.
seen this kind of energy around the city in a while now.
Yeah,
And the
man.
social media team has been going crazy. They acting like we ain't won a game in God knows how long. But hey, they acting like we won a Super Bowl. But I'll take it.
There is a little bit.
I'll take it. They going a little over the top. But you know what? We ain't had a feeling like this in a while, so I'm gonna embrace it. It feels good. It feels good that the Falcons got the city piped up. Feels good that we're trending in the right direction. We got good quarterback play. We have an adult at QB. Things are trending in the right direction. I love it, man.
You ain't a computer. You a fax machine. Like that's all it is. All you did was spit facts just now. Cause like I think about like they all going over, but I'm like, hey man, enjoy this moment. Enjoy this moment. Cause I'm like, we don't play the game. At the end of the day, like I know we all want to be like, all right, we can't enjoy this win too long, man. We we fans. All we can do is show up to the stadium and scream real loud to make sure the other team can't hear at most. But at the end of the day, the team got to stay focused. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why on the last podcast I did, it was about just being excited. Because I was like, hey man, look, one of the feelings, the thing that first scratched my back a little, got me a little excited was when we beat Philly. That Raheem speech, boy, that thing had me loud. I was ready to fight. I was ready to play. I was ready to do whatever he wanted me to do.
When he said, "Who the next?"
He said, "Who was next?"
I'm ready, coach.
I loved it because he walked in with like a swagger we hadn't. Actually, in my time of being a Falcons fan, like a real fan, not like in '98 I was 7, so I didn't I watched the Falcons because it was the Super Bowl. I don't even watch football back then. But in my time, like I basically been a Falcons fan for almost the full Arthur Blank era. I haven't seen a swagger like that in the Falcons locker room at all since Vic. But from a coach, I've never seen that. And when he basically walked in and said, "That's how you deal," that's what we got to do, and that's how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Then when he's hit him with the who the fuck is next, you know what I'm saying? He said, enjoy this moment. Because he's like, yeah, we won a big game. You deserve to enjoy that. But who the fuck is next? And then in the post-game interviews, everybody was saying, oh man, that's a great win, man. We focus on next week. We focus on next week. Da, 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 da. I'm like, they saying that the night of the game. They not even to the next week. That's the night of the game that they just won in clutch fashion. They were not even focused on that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see Coach got these boys like actually focused. You know what I'm saying? And so they haven't, even though when they've underperformed, they hadn't come out flat and uncompetitive. You know what I'm saying? That last year Dan Quinn was here. That was one of them things. That was a rough like 5 games where like the team would come out, get curb stomped immediately, and then the Falcons floundering the whole game. But then
Good old Dan Trent saying, and we're mad as hell.
and yo, man, that look message is it's so funny how the message was so good when we was winning, but then when the team ain't dealing no more, that shit got old and stale so fast. Oh, but Dan know what he need to do though. That's why he's doing well in Washington now, because I feel like Dan and Raheem, which is so funny because of how many times they've been on the same staff. I feel like Dan and Raheem both got a lot of lessons from their first time being a coach, right? And I
I've
feel
noticed the
like,
same thing as well. This second
hmm?
come around, I've noticed the same thing as well. This second go around, Raheem he's been around the block a few times. Not only has he was a head coach with Tampa Bay, interim head coach with us. Then
Yep,
he went to LA and was a DC and won a ring. And now he's back in Atlanta. Like he has a lot of experience under his belt. I feel a lot more confident in this Raheem this go around than when he was our interim head coach. And I liked him then.
I did too.
But I do think that Rams experience being under McVay, being the DC for a Super Bowl winning team, really plays a role into how the team is looking now. Because now he can back it up. Now when he's talking that talk, he can pull out his ring and say, I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I put forth a defensive winning team out there. I was part of that. I was the coordinator for that. And I like that. He has championship pedigree. You can't teach that. You have to actually win for that kind of pedigree. I'm liking the trajectory of this team. I'll say this, and I know we're going to get into this, but the only thing I kind of hope we don't do, and Nick Saban says it best, is like, don't eat the rat poison. Don't eat the cheese. Like the media is talking about us. Oh, the Falcons are frisky and fun. The Falcons are doing this. The Falcons are fighting. And I love it because we are. We are all of those things. We have been in every game. But at the same time, don't hold your head on this. Like we've been in games where if we finish drives we're supposed to do, we can win by a touchdown or two. We got to be able to finish out drives. Our defense has got to get stops. I mean,
hmm.
but like it's the little things like that. I want to see us improve on that. And I really want to see how we look going into this Carolina Panthers game because this is a very winnable game. We should handily win by at least 10 points. But I know us. We play to the level of our competition. So in order for me to see the next step, I've seen we can win close games. Like, can we win the winnable game comfortably? And granted, no week is the same. No team is the same week to week. But this is not a good Panthers team. They've squandered their top picks. They're hurt. We need to take care of business.
So that's a good segue to talk about how you felt about the Tampa game. So I wanna hear your thoughts on that. They got like almost a full hour of me talking about that game. I think I've said all I needed to say about that. I might chime in a little bit because there's some things that happened in that game that I want to hear what you thought about it or how you felt about it. But what you feel like about that game? Like now that you got a chance to calm down, be like, all right, I'm on to the next one. How'd you feel about what you saw against Tampa last Thursday?
Loved what I saw from the offense. Tampa Bay is a great run defense team, so of course we couldn't really run the ball well. I think we had like 80 some rushing yards. It is what it is. We were never going to run the ball that well, but our the passing game had to step up, and it did. I saw what I wanted to see from the passing game. Kirk had 500 yards. We dished the ball around. Yeah, Darnell Mooney had a critical drop, but he had critical catches throughout that entire game. I will never hold that against him, ever. Like that touchdown on 3 people? Come on now. I'll be damned if I hold one drop against him. Oh,
It
one
was a
more.
clutch drop, though, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was, but it happens. Shit
It was
happens.
wide open. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I ain't hating on him. I just got to point out that
Yeah.
I would have been sick if the game would have died on that catch
Oh,
because of how good his game was.
same. Like I would have hated that for him, and that's why I'm glad we got the win, so he can get that off his back. It's after that, after winning that game, you can forget about that catch same day. You ain't got to think about that again. But
Right.
I'll say this: we are 5 games in. and we don't have a pass rush, and I don't think we'll ever get one. I'm not saying that for next year, but for this season, I'm done wishing and hoping on that. We just don't have one. And that's okay. We can double down on the things that we're good at. We got a great secondary, and our secondary for the most part tackles pretty well in open field. I love that. You
Yeah.
don't really you don't really see DBs tackling like that. Our DBs do. I have noticed it. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Thank you. Our DBs are tackling well. Linebacking core. Troy was out last week. It is what it is. Guess what? We got Nate Landman back this week. That's
Is
going
he
to
officially back? I know he's a limited participant in practice, but you think they're gonna activate him for the
He
game?
was a limited participant in practice. If we get a full participation on come Friday, he'll play. If it's another limited,
Yeah.
we'll see. But linebacking core side, they're getting healthy, so it's coming around. It's coming around with our linebackers. But we got to do better at tackling. Like our front four, we got to double down on our run defense. Teams are tearing us apart on first and second down when it comes to running the ball. We are consistently in third and shorts, and that leads to teams driving the length of the field on us and having to have a bend don't break defense come in and hold teams at field goals. That's essentially how we lost the 2 games we lost this year.
Yeah.
And that's essentially how every game has gone so far this year. The script on defense has been the exact same. It has been the offense has steadily improved. I will at least give credit on that. Defenses as well. They've made stops when we needed to. Now they had a great game against the Saints, but on first and second down, we have been abysmal stopping the run, like bad.
Yeah.
Our teams are going into third down, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. I'm happy if it's a 3rd and 4.
Yo.
If it's a 3rd and 4, I'm like,
You're not
oh,
lying.
okay, but for the most part, it's a 3rd and 2, really. And I'm just like, this is why teams are moving the ball on us.
How did you feel? How did you feel about the second half of that game? I'm just curious. Did you feel like we just got lucky, or the Bucks weren't executing, or did you feel like the Falcons were doing some things that you noticed? I'll call out what I noticed. I'll chime in with a little more of that, but I want to hear what you say. What you think?
I think it's a little bit of both. I do think we got some favorable calls. Granted, they were calls that they had to be called. I'm not going. We've lost games because of officiating, so I'm not going to talk.
Apart from the ones we win because of it, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm not going. That's neither here nor there. But at the same time, our defense made some adjustments. They held them to 6 points in the second half. That could be because of Todd Bowles' play call. He could have got conservative. That could be because Tampa Bay didn't execute. That could be because of our defense locking in. But I will say this: our defense did. Our D line did make more plays in the second half. But as a whole, our defense, they got to step it up.
One of the things I wanted to point out, and I just wanted to point out because I didn't, I when I went on my rant, sometimes I forget to point out certain things. So one of the things I wanted to point out was adjustments, because obviously we fans, we consume media too. And I was watching people, other Falcons content creators say that they didn't really see anything that was better coaching, it was just better execution. And I think I'm gonna give a little small bit of pushback on that, right? Because while I agree there was better execution, especially because the tackling got better in the second half, right? It just did. It just did. The wrap up and bringing guys down got better in the second half, right? But the way they defended the run was better. And I think I watched the game 3 times. When it's on Amazon, you get to watch it again and again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the game 3 times, and one of the things I noticed that I think was a coaching adjustment was the main plays that they were beating us on in the run game were on counter plays where they pull backside guard and tackle, and then they kick out, block, and then they got a clear path. And I kept noticing when they would do that, we would stop it in the second half. And the reason we would stop it because we'd stop it with backside pressure. And I think that I'm thinking, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I think people don't give coaches enough credit sometimes because they like, oh, we got to see this huge scheme adjustment. Sometimes it's individual coaching, and sometimes it's like the positional coaches or whatever that make the difference. And one of the differences I saw was that Grady Jarrett was knifing in on the backside of those plays and stopping a lot of those runs, right? So I think what they did was they started noticing the formations that they would run those counter plays out of, and they said, "Hey, if we get this look, Grady, I want you to beat that center across his face and knife that play down from the backside." Now, whereas a better execution is, Grady has to be able to do that. You know, a slower guy or a sorrier player, he wouldn't be able to make that play, right? But they know Grady can make that play, and they also coach Grady to say, "Hey, this is how we want to defend this." And I just kept noticing Grady getting in on the backside, like he would cross the center space and then run in that pocket from where the backside guard was pulling, and he just followed the guard straight to the play and then stop the play from the backside. And I was like, man, that is a good piece of coaching right there. Like, that's a good piece of coaching. Did you think you saw? Did you think it was more about execution or more about coaching or both? Like, what was your thoughts about what you think made the defense improve in the second half? I mean, obviously it was made of paper, wet tissue in the first half. Them boys could not stop a damn kernel of corn from going through a wall.
Oh, they couldn't stop anything. It was a little bit of both. Like you said before, tackling greatly improved. We were able to bring people down. Coverage improved a bit as well. And when I think about that second half, I immediately go back and think about that fumble that Jesse Bates creating a play when we needed one. I That was the game changer right there. So just it's the little things, man. It's players making plays. The small adjustments is like just players executing, but also a little bit of coaching as well. But I lean more on just the players playing better. They knew they had to lock in. Like the scheme is fine. We know we don't have a pass rush, but we can do other things well, and they did.
All right, awesome. So let me ask, what you see from this game? Because this is another reason why the last podcast was about getting excited. I felt like personally, right, that I saw a lot of things that wasn't just because of the game. I saw things that we could carry forward with us into the season, right? I felt like the Bucks played a lot of zone, but I felt like they also had to play a lot of zone because I'm gonna have to pull up the notes for me, but most of the plays, most of the passing yards came against zone. So I'm like, all right, well, clearly the next time we play the Bucks, they're not gonna play zone like that. They're gonna be like, we sat back in zone, yada yada yada. We're not doing that again, right? But then I rewatched the film. The Bucks kept running zone blitzes. They kept sending 5 and then playing zone with 6, right? But the other thing I noticed too is when I looked at man coverage plays, they really didn't do that much better, right? So they had some stops. You might remember the play where Levante David got a pass breakup against Kyle Pitts on a quick out. There was another one where Ray McLeod going across the middle. They got a stop, but they got beat on man coverage on some critical plays in the game. That fourth down touchdown to Darnell Mooney was on man coverage. The Drake London's catch right before we had to spike the ball and kick the game time field goal, that was also man coverage. And there was another big play that I wanted to point out. Excuse me, the Kadero Hodge play was man coverage too. So I guess what I felt like was we might need to we were still a little shaky in pass protection a little bit, Caleb McGarry coming off an injury. But I feel like at least going into this next game with Carolina, I won't speak for the whole season, but going into this next game, the Bucks gonna have a better pass rush than Carolina. Carolina don't have Brian Burns no more. Derrick Brown out for the whole year.
County might not play.
Yeah, Clowney might not play. I'm not concerned about Carolina pass rush, so there's that. We show that we can throw the ball against man and zone. Like maybe if you got like world beaters in coverage, you can win against you can win against you can win in man coverage if you're on defense. But I feel like Most teams that they ain't gonna have enough guys that's just gonna put the clamps on who as far as main coverage. But the other things I saw as far as what I feel like we could take forward was the tempo. On a lot of third and fourth downs, they didn't huddle. They said, "No, you're gonna keep this personnel out here. We're gonna hurry up and line up and run a play, so you don't get to just look at our play and to say, all right, I want to blitz, or change your personnel and say, yeah, with this personnel I like to blitz, with this personnel I don't want to blitz. You know what I'm saying? Because now that leaves, like, I might have my run defense linebacker out there. I don't want to blitz with him having to be in coverage. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that we went on tempo with critical situations. I think that's a sign of the trust forming between Zach and Kirk. Zach know he got an adult in the room, so he said, "Hey, if we hurry up on third down, or if we run hurry up on fourth down, and we don't get it, oh well. But I'm gonna trust that my adult is going to at least make the right decision with the ball in a clutch situation like that." You know what I'm saying? The other thing I think still carries over is the adjustments we made, right? Like I keep seeing I'm talking about on defense. I keep seeing that at certain points in the game, the defense kind of getting ran a little bit, and then they kind of figure something out, and then kind of slow the other team down. I'm also things that go forward to the next game. Kirk Cousins he's looking stronger. There's no other way around it. Like he's throwing the ball further, he's throwing the ball harder, he's throwing the ball with more confidence as far as how decisive he being. He in the Eagles game, I felt like he was still good on that final drive, but I could definitely see that a lot of those throws, guys were getting out of their breaks before he threw them. So that was really good on the receivers for getting open and letting him, see them get open before he throw it. But that pass that Darnell Mooney dropped, that was a throw that Kirk threw before he was out of his break. I'm like, oh, Kirk is getting comfortable.
Kirk is mentioned that.
Yeah, right.
In one of his press conferences, he said that, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. I'm trusting my Achilles a little bit more. I'm driving through throws. I'm anticipating more. I'm getting more comfortable with my receivers and where they're going to be. And he mentioned he's anticipating. Hell, that one interception he threw.
He did say that, yeah.
That one interception he threw should not have been an interception. Ray McCloud slipped. If he wouldn't have slipped, that would have been a first down.
Oh no, which one are you talking about? You talking about the Levante David pick, or are we talking about a different game? Because I remember one against the Saints, Ray McCloud slipped, and the corner caught the pick.
That might be the one. It's either that one. How many picks did he throw against the Bucks? Was it just one?
Just the one. That was a 4th and 15, and Levante was in zone.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of the Saints game then. But
no, that's what happened. Ray slipped, yeah. And also another thing I wanted to point out too, because I want to see some adjustments to this the thought of the play calling thought. The real reason in my head that pick happened is because everybody got to the sticks, and then they're running like, all right, we at the sticks trying to get the first down routes, right? And what I've noticed, just from being a football fan over a lot of years, is that those are prime opportunities for chunk plays. When you need like a 4th and 15, they say, all right, it's long and it's their last chance. We're just going to camp out at the sticks. If you just send somebody, like say Darnell Mooney, run a stutter go, like the Darnell Mooney, not even stutter go, like a true hitch and go, like he run, show his hands near the sticks, and then like just start running, he going to probably be open. In fact, actually, I'm about to take you back. I don't remember what year it was. You remember? It might have been 2017, but it might have been after that. I can't remember. You remember that time Julio Jones? We was playing the Panthers. We was at Carolina. We was down like 20-10, and Julio Jones had that real bad drop, like it bounced off his hand. And he went facing. That was a 4th and 7, right? And the reason that happened and why he was wide open like that was because he ran toward the sticks and he turned, and then Matt hit him with one of them, and then he threw it wide open. And it's plays like that all the time that I'm seeing, because when it's 4th down and when it's 4th and medium or 4th and long, everybody thinks you're just trying to get the first down. And when you play those situations more aggressively, They are caught pantsless. They is caught doing something they ain't supposed to. They caught with their hand in the cookie jar at night. You know what I'm saying? And just for future things, I guess I'm pointing that out now because, if anybody watched the podcast and that comes up later, because it always does, I want you to know that you heard it here first. All right, you're gonna say, hey, damn, that boy Sterlington kind of be knowing what he talking about a little bit, man. Those situations and situations to be aggressive. Yes, they are. 4th and 1 is the situation where you just do enough just to get the first down. 4th and 3, 4th and 4, 4th and 15. That's too long. They camped out at the sticks. Just get aggressive now. All right. Yeah, that was one of my little miniature rants that I was thinking about because I heard that and I had a thought about that. So let's go ahead and move on to the Panthers game. Panthers are hurt. Like I said, Derek Brown's out for the year. And when we talk about that defense, like I almost want to talk about our offense going against their defense first because that defense, like, due to injuries and free agency, I'm like, well, hell, what's the part of the defense that looked the same, that was the same defense that was giving us trouble over the last couple of years? Every time we beat Carolina, then we go to Carolina and lose, right? And we lose because like Derek Brown or just punch Chris Lindstrom in the stomach and take his milk money. You know what I'm saying? Brian Burns, he see Derek Brown doing that, then he go punch Caleb McGarry in the stomach and take his milk money. You know what I'm saying? Then Carolina, they get super physical in the trenches. They get super physical in the run game and run the ball on us how they want. They make it a slow game. They did it both times.
Okay.
Again, when we played, with Ritter at quarterback, with Mariota at quarterback, didn't matter. They did basically the same thing both times. And this year, when I look at that defense, I'm like, well, damn. Brian Burns up here lighting it up in New York. At least he did in when they played Seattle. Brian Burns not there no more. Derek Brown hurt. Frankie Louvu, he gone in free agency. Shaq Thompson tore his Achilles, out for the year. Dante Jackson, they second best cornerback because I think J.C. Horn's their best now. But Dante Jackson, right before the season, he got traded to Pittsburgh. I'm like, well, damn, y'all boys did the defense dirty. I'm like, what the hell they got to work with?
Exactly. That's why I'm like, who they got?
They got like I said, like Shaq Thompson an injury, Derek Brown is an injury, but like everybody else got traded or let go in free agency. So I'm like, I think that's part of the reason I feel confident. Maybe we can't be excited for the whole season. I think we can be excited for this week. I honestly, and we're not gonna do score predictions yet, but I honestly think I honestly think we can win by double digits. I honestly think we will win by double digits in Carolina, and it's a division game. That's how confident I'm feeling.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm like, but we'll get to more of that. We're just talking about the defense. What's the threats for the defense? Like if you the Carolina Panthers defense, given the issues they have, what's your priority number one with what you got? How you think you finna stop the offense? Stop the Falcons.
Well, the Falcons have shown that they can win the game without running the ball. So even if you shut down Bijan and Tyler, Kirk put up 500 yards. Post Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm stopping the Falcons, I got to stop this pass. I gotta get a solid pass rush. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to throw off his rhythm. Trying to get if I'm the Panthers, how I'm winning this game in general is I'm trying to win a turnover battle. I'm trying to force Atlanta into bad football territory. If we can't score, at least pin Atlanta back within the 20 consistently. Hopefully win a turnover battle. Try to force some fumbles. Maybe get some interceptions. Make Kirk uncomfortable. But given how their pass rush has been decimated through free agency, I don't know how they're going to do that. But that's the game plan. That's how I would still try to do it. Try to make Kirk uncomfortable. Make him make bad decisions. And then if it's the other way around, if I'm the Falcons defense and I'm trying to start to stop the Panthers offense, or if I'm the Panthers offense trying to go against the Falcons defense, I'm trying to do what every team has done weeks 1 through 5 and get in the short yardage situations for third
Yep.
down. And by doing that, running the ball well on first and second down, which every team apparently can do on us.
Yeah. The
So,
Bucks stink. The Bucks like the worst rushing team in the league over the last 4 years. And
and
then
they
even in
still
the
run
first
the ball well.
our game, I think they averaged I think they finished with a final average of 4.3 yards per carry. But I think they in the first half, like I know Rashawn White averaged like 7 yards a carry, although he did have a big 50-yard run that like threw his average all out of whack. But yeah, they yeah.
But even aside from that, like every team can run the ball on us, and it luckily for us, Andy Dalton is not a mobile QB, so we can rely on him. We can rest easy knowing he's going to be pretty much a pocket passer. Every now and then he
Well,
might pick up a first down with his legs, but he's 36. He's the same age as Kirk. He ain't trying to run like that.
nah,
So we
not
can at
really.
least can rest easy at night for 1 week, knowing we don't have to deal with a mobile QB. But even that aside, if I'm the Panthers, I'm trying to run the ball, get into short third down situations, move the ball down the field, at worst get field goals, but try to turn some of those field goals into touchdowns. That's how I'm trying to beat the Falcons, especially on the defensive side.
All right, yo, look, you took the words right out my mouth, bro, because I was like, look, if I'm the Panthers, right, and I'm trying to realistically beat this team, I'm not gonna sit here and act like the Falcons been world beaters all year. They had one good offensive game, right? Like the Eagles all game was okay on offense in the sense that we scored 21, a true 21. Excuse me, a true 22. Like all of those were offensive points. But I'm like, when we played the Saints, we only scored 12 points on offense. You know what I'm saying? When we played the Steelers, we only scored 10 points. We only scored 15 against the Chiefs. I'm like, hey, man, look, if I'm the Panthers, I think maybe we can keep this a low-scoring game under the right conditions, right? So the first condition I'm gonna have is the fact that Chuba Hubbard has been honestly one of the most efficient running backs in the league this year. He's been one of the best.
And I hate how I dropped him in fantasy.
A lot of people did. I think most people did not have. Most people I see now who have Chuba Hubbard did not draft him. Did not.
I drafted him.
No, that's what I'm saying. No. They either picked him up in free agency or they picked him up off waivers because somebody else dropped him. When they saw that 47 to 10 they was like, I'm out. But Chuba Hubbard's been one of the most efficient guys running the ball. Carolina can't run the ball. We've been one of the worst teams at running the ball. Carolina, they did have one game, maybe two actually. They had 2 games where they showed that with Andy Dalton as your quarterback, you can reasonably move the ball, right? And we know Atlanta doesn't have a pass rush. So if I'm Carolina, I'm trying to slow this game down. I'm trying to make sure that if it goes to third down, it's 3rd and 3 or less, right? I'm trying to keep their offense off the field and out of rhythm, more importantly. So if I'm them now, see the problem is all these theories work until you remember that Carolina defense got to execute, and then that's why I start getting confident again. Because honestly, everything I'm saying about their offense, I think they can do against our defense. I think they can run the ball against us if they want to. I think they can run reasonably past the ball. Deontay Johnson is emerging as their lead receiver right now. Adam Thielen's still on IR. But that's just giving the young guys they have a little more chance to get some burn. So Xavier Leggett, Jonathan Mingo, that's giving them a chance. But I do think that our secondary is better, like in every way, shape, or form than any receivers they tried out there. They don't have a great pass catching tight end. So even if Nate Landman is out there and plays, and we know he's a little weaker in coverage, like he's a great run defender, but he's a little more, more susceptible to getting beat in coverage. I mean, who gonna expose him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe they can use Chuba Hubbard in a pass game. I don't know, but The Falcons are a good rally and tackle team. That's really the heart of their pass defense. They have effing awful pass rush, but rallying and tackling the ball, that's something that we do well. So I think they're gonna try to move the ball on the ground, just try to keep our offense off. But the problem where I have and where I start getting confidence is honestly almost every time I try to come up with a defensive game plan, I start bursting out laughing because I'm like, they're not gonna be. I feel like they would have a hard time stopping like the week 2 version of this team. They might have a hard time stopping the week 1 version. And the week 1 version, the only reason I said not against the week 1 version is because we were being super transparent about what we were doing. I'm like, hey, it's still an NFL now. Even with they like bozos on the field, I think most defenses can put up reasonable resistance if they know they see shotgun. They like, oh, they throwing it. They see pistol. Oh, they running it. They like if they know already, I'm like, no. But like, I'm like, yeah. The week 2 version of the Falcons, y'all would put up 30 against this defense, especially in the condition. Because I'm trying to be fair to them. I know I sound like I'm roasting the Panthers, but I'm trying to be fair to them. I'm like, man, most defenses with that level of talent drop off would look that way. I almost feel bad for Giro Evero, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers. I'm like, damn, man, you had a good name. He had a hot coaching cycle. He went on several interviews. He didn't get hired, but he went on job interviews for head coaching jobs. And now this is the defense he got to work with. You know what I'm saying? So I think I just don't really see the part. The only thing that's I guess might be nervous is maybe we don't get any pass rush, and then Andy Dalton's able to turn back the clock a little bit.
I'll say this: there has been only one team to score less than 25 points on the Panthers.
Was it the Raiders?
And that was the week they played the Raiders. The Panthers won 36-22. So at the very minimum, I think we can score 20 points. So it's all about what can we hold them to.
Yeah, that's really what this game will come down to.
Yeah,
because
we're gonna be able to score at least 20 points. What can our defense hold the Panthers to?
The other thing too, that's a little bit of an unknown for us. And this is the only real hold up for my confidence for this week is we've only seen this team play one game on the road. Now, granted, that one game was in a hostile environment, one of the most hostile environments you could be in.
Jason Kelsey nights.
Right? That crowd was loud. And then it's on Monday Night Football, and honestly, the offense didn't look bad. And then that was a worse version of that offense. But I'm just like, I think, matter of fact, let's flip over and talk about what the Falcons need to do to win this game by more than one score, because I don't want to hear that shit about, we know how the Falcons win the game. They can just do some freaky stuff and then get lucky and then win the game. But I'm like, what do we need to see for this Falcons team to win this game by multiple scores, right? Okay. What do you got? I'm going to let you go first this time.
Well, Kirk can't be reckless with the ball. I know it's Kirktober, so this is his month to shine. We kind of got a primetime game too. I know we have another game of the week, but we got the 425 spot, so we got the kind of a primetime game too. So
kind of, yeah.
It's like a semi primetime game, and Kirk shines in primetime. So Kirk cannot turn the ball over. We cannot have fumbles. The offense cannot get reckless with the ball, and if we can avoid that,
good start.
Then at the minimum, we're going to score 20 points. At the minimum.
Right. Just if we don't turn it over. The
Ravens score 22. On average, most teams are – let me pull that back up. On average, most teams are beating the brakes off the Panthers. Like game one.
They fought back against the Bengals, who turned out the Bengals. Hey, if the Panthers got the worst defense in the league, the Bengals got the second – not even the second. If we rank in defenses, one being the worst – the Panthers are 1, the Bengals 1.5.
Yeah.
Like the Bengals are trash on defense. Like seriously, bro. What is it with these cat teams? Because Jaguars suck on defense too. Poor Ryan Nielsen. That man came over here and did work wonders
These cat teams are soft, man. They're soft.
Bruh, what is up with these cat teams? Is that a cat team that's playing good defense? What we got? We got the Panthers, the Bengals, and the Jags. Then another. Do we have another Lions? Detroit. I had to think hard. I'm like, there got to be one more cat team I'm not thinking about.
Right?
The Lions. All right. The Lions off the schneid. We'll give the Lions some.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm looking at their games. They lost to the Panthers 47-10. Lost to the Chargers 26-3. They beat the Raiders 36-22. Lost to the Bengals 34-24. So the way that's looking is, at the minimum, I think we can score. And I said 20, but really my floor for us scoring points is 25 points.
Yeah.
We don't really score 25 in the NFL, so I'll say 24 points is our floor. Our ceiling, I think we can score 38, maybe 42. We can put up points against these dudes. It's all about us not getting reckless with the ball, not turning the ball over. And if we can do that, I think at minimum our team can score 24 points. Now, it's what can our defense do? Can our defense hold these Panthers? Now, granted, it's a division rivalry game, so you can throw all the other stuff out the window. You always play your division rival different than you do everybody else.
Yeah, you know them.
You know them. You know how they play. They know our weakness is run defense. They know teams are able to run the ball on us. So that's what I think we're going to get a heavy dose of them running the ball, them trying to control the clock, them getting into short third down situations. Andy Dalton's a proven vet, and they're just going to chip their way down the field and try to keep Kirk off the field. I think that is the formula for them to win a game. I think it's going to be a close game. And leading into the score predictions, like initially I had us scoring. I had us scoring 30 points, but just because of how I think the Panthers are going to play, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be under 30 points. I think it'll be a 27-24 Falcons win.
All right. So I think it'll be close in the first half. I think this got all the makings of one of those games where a team pulls out all the stops because they see how, they see the Falcons win on Thursday night. They see all of the fanfare around the Falcons. They know they suck, but they know they've beaten us in Carolina the last 2 years, maybe more. But I know for a fact the last 2 years. Did we lose the
sports media, the fans? We hope the players aren't, but everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. So this seems like a big letdown spot for us.
No, but think about it too. Each of the last 2 seasons, that Carolina game was supposed to be that game that helped us, maybe either get a lead in the division race or stay in the division race or whatever, and then we dropped that one, right? So I think from a mental perspective, they're gonna be up for this game, right? From a mental and emotional position.
They love playing spoiler.
Right.
Like they suck, but they can at least take hope.
Ruin our day.
Our day. And that's why I don't think, and I would love if it's a blowout game, because this is a team you can and should blow out, but it's a rivalry game. They play up to the standard against us. So I think it's going to be close.
So I think, like I said, I think it's going to be close in the first half. I think mentally and emotionally they're going to be up for the game. I think, like I said, this got one of those freaky games, bring back 2016, when we played the Chiefs. Andy Reid knew damn well, that's how you know he's a good coach, because he know good offense when he see it. And he knew damn well they wasn't going to be able to keep up with us scoring-wise. So they were pulling out all the stops to try to score points. They went for it on a trick play, on a fake punt, and then scored a long touchdown on that. Eric Berry got a pick 6, and they got a pick 2. And then when they got the ball back with 4 minutes left, they were able to run the clock out. But they were running all the trick plays. They were just doing whatever to try to keep our offense on the sideline and to try to score points however they could, because they knew they couldn't keep up, right? The problem is that Chiefs team was a playoff team. That team still did have some grease on defense. They were still able to enact some of what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? I think that this will be a close one, but even when I say close in the first half, I think the Falcons are still going to have a lead. I think it's just going to be closer than people expect. Maybe it'll be something like 10-6, 13-6, something like that. I think in the second half, though, when the Falcons make their customary defensive adjustments, heck, maybe they won't even need to wait till the second half. Maybe it'll be like the Saints game where after the second time they score, they're like, we changing something up. And because I would love to see the Falcons prioritize stopping the run in this game. And I mean, like, we put Nate in the box. Y'all not gonna run this damn ball. Like maybe Baker Mayfield can show he could throw. Right, Derek Carr, lately they done fallen off, but up to the point that we played them, they showed they could throw the ball. All these teams show they could throw the ball. I'm like, hey, maybe we should say to the Panthers, hey, if Andy Dalton shows he can beat us with his arm, then we won't, lean on them in the run game. But otherwise, Shoe Bubba ain't running this damn ball. I want to see them do that. I don't know if they will, but I think in the second half they'll be able to put the clamps on the Panthers run game. I think the Panthers' lack of pass rush and the lack of star-making player production is going to show itself. And I think the Falcons can win this game 34-17. That was actually way more of a confident prediction than I thought I was going to say. I didn't even know what I was going to say right up until I got right up on it. And I was like, yeah, the Falcons can score 34 points. And I think they should hold the Panthers to under 20, this version of the Panthers. Now, to be fair, I don't know where I'm getting all this confidence from because technically the Falcons have only held one team under 20 all year. It was Pittsburgh. They held them to 6 field goals. So even kicking off field goals, they almost scored 20. But I just am not. I think we're gonna be able to carry over a lot of momentum. We come in on a mini bye because we had an extra 3 days to rest. No, actually, let me change my score prediction. I forgot. We on the road. All right, 28-17.
Okay. I still love it.
I forgot. We on the road. So we probably ain't gonna hang 34 on them. I don't know what the weather's gonna be like or if it's gonna cause any problems for anybody, but I don't if you can't get pressure on Kirk, I don't see how they're gonna stop that. And heck, we might F around and get the run game going. And if we get the run game going with Kirk's returning strength, throwing the ball, I'm expecting to see more deep shots. Out of play action. Like Kirk is looking really comfortable on those play action plays, on those play action rollouts where he has that long handoff fake and then goes into the pocket. And yeah, I think we moving the ball. And I think we scoring good now. Everybody who knows me knows I don't know where I get all this confidence from in the Falcons. I've been a Falcons fan for over 20 years. I should know better. But like I said, I think this team is turning a corner of sorts. Maybe they'll still be cursed, but I think they're not getting the traditional Falcons curse. I think I feel comfortable saying that we win this game by at least 2 scores, maybe 3, but like 17, 16, 3, a small 3, like or a big 2, where you need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal, something like that.
Okay. I'm not sure if we're cursed. I think we're past the worst of it. I think 28-3, and then the years following, it's kind of been like the worst of it. We've kind of been beaten down to where like now anything. I know me as a fan, I've come past all that shit. Like it don't even really bother me no more. I got Saints family. I got Saints fans in my whole family, and they always bring it up. I'm the only Falcons fan in my family.
He developed that callous on himself.
It don't even bother me no more, bro. So I'm like, it's whatever. But I love your confidence. I like how you have a little bit more confidence in it than I do, and it's always the other way around.
yeah. I'm super negative about the Falcons, but this time. And one more thing before we get off is we're creeping up on 50 minutes on an hour, so we'll wrap up soon. But one of the things I thought about When I'm talking about one of the things, this is completely inconsequential, but I draw parallels, and this is another thing that I just draw some energy from. Matt Ryan has said that he's bullish on the team, right? And it's like, who? Of course he is. He was a Falcon for 14 years. Why wouldn't he be bullish on his former team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it give me that flash to the offseason right before 2016.
Okay.
And the reporters were talking to the players, and Matt Ryan said, "Yeah, I think the offense is gonna be real good. I think we can score 30 points a game." He said that shit with a straight face. He didn't sound like he was bragging. He didn't sound like he was trying to sell somebody on something.
You
It
know what's
sounded like
funny
he was
about
giving
that?
his honest thoughts.
And you know what's funny about that?
What's up?
That summer, Matt Ryan had like a meeting with him,
And Kyle
Kyle
Shanahan.
Shanahan, I think Matt LaFleur, and I think one other person. Essentially the offensive room. And they had a meeting over the summer.
Like a personal one too, right? Like they just went and grabbed some beers or something, right?
Like it was like I think it was like not like it was like a meeting / trip. Like Matt flew them out somewhere and they was chopping it up, talking business about like this offense. And then that's when it really went bang. Because the first year you could see the makings of it.
Yeah, but then it fell off at the end, yeah.
Even the year we made that Super Bowl, prior to that season, I was like, we're a year away. I was like, this 2016 season, we're gonna get good, and then 2017 is when we're gonna make our Super Bowl push. And then it's the other way around. We were good enough 2016, and then we fell off afterwards. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm trying to tell you, man, shit's looking good. I'm liking the way this offense is cooking. So I mean, we'll see.
Well, yeah, because what I was getting at was I was thinking about how he was bullish on the Falcons. He had that year where he was giving his honest opinion. He said, "Yeah, I think we can score 30 points a game." And I remember everybody like being like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like they even asked Julio and said, they said, "Hey, Julio, we heard you guys were going to score 30 points a game." And then Julio was like, Matt said that." You know what I'm saying? He hung Matt out the drive. He was like, don't put that shit on me." But they went out and did it. And I look at that as like, okay, Matt had never been on the team that scored 30 points a game before. Mm-hmm. So he had to see something that made him say, "Oh, yeah, this is different. This is something that I didn't see before." And I know. I played with Julio, Roddy, Tony Gonzalez. I never said 30 points a game. This year, we got Julio and who was the number two? Mo Sanu. Taylor Gabriel. Was Taylor Gabriel even on the team yet? Yeah. I don't think Taylor Gabriel was. No. Taylor Gabriel didn't come until he got cut from the Browns.
He was on that Super Bowl team.
No, he wasn't. This was in preseason. Taylor Gabriel got added late after Taylor Gabriel got cut by Browns in camp. So Taylor Gabriel wasn't even on the team yet. He was looking at a wide receiver room with Julio Jones, Muhammad Sanu, Aldrick Robinson, Austin Hooper at tight end.
Did we have Harry Douglas still? Did we have Harry Douglas?
No. Harry Douglas was from the older teams.
You're right.
That man, Matt Ryan, looked at those players. And this was before they had Andy Levitre at guard, too, because they traded for him right before the season. He looked at those players and said, "Oh, yeah, we got 30 points a game right here." That's what he did. So I'm like, all right, maybe I do trust a little bit of what he says he sees. So he looks at this team and he bullish on them. He said, "No, I think the Falcons actually good." I feel like that's coming from a place of I'm not being a homer. I'm looking at the team and thinking, I'm liking what I see based off of what I saw before and what they added now and who they added now. And then you got to remember, he also Raheem was on that Dan Quinn staff. He knows who Raheem is. He been in the building with Raheem.
He was on that 2016 team.
That's right. He knew. So he was like, "Yeah, nah." And then Raheem was interim coach. Oh, quiz time. So I think that year we started out 0-5. Dan Quinn's last year, was that 2018? No, that was 2020. No, I think it was 2020. I feel like because that was the first time Arthur Blank kept a coach beyond 2 losing seasons. Arthur Blank don't play. you get to Arthur Smith got longer than most coaches get. I'm like, Arthur Smith don't know, bro. That third year, he expect to see some improvement. And Arthur Smith almost got a fourth year, but I think them last two games soured Blank way too much. He was like, I'm out. But quiz time. So we started out 2020 0-5, and then Dan Quinn got fired. And the Falcons, and then Raheem Morris took over, and then the Falcons got their first win of the year. What team did the Falcons play?
Damn. Shit,
Matter of fact, I'm about to.
Shit, was it the Panthers?
No, it wasn't the Panthers. You about to laugh real good. Matter of fact, I gotta look up one more thing.
Shit, who did we get our first win?
You might not remember. I ain't gonna lie. I cannot believe I remember this. I remember watching the game, or watching like highlights of that shit, like a year ago, and being like, I don't remember this game at all.
Damn, you got me. I don't know this one.
So the first win of that year, the Falcons beat the Vikings.
Okay.
With Kirk Cousins.
Oh shit.
This was Todd Gurley. This was the year we got Todd Gurley.
Okay.
Matt Ryan went 30 for 40 for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Kirk went 24, 36, 343, 3 touchdowns, but he also had 3 picks, including the pick 6. We cooked them. I know. What's the odds? But you know, so it's so funny that Raheem's first game as a head coach, he made Kirk look like a fool because he had 3 touchdowns. Like 2 of them touchdowns were garbage time touchdowns. Like the Falcons put it on the Vikings. The final score was 40-23. It was not that close. Until like for most of that, like that Falcons put it on them. And then years later, you know, Raheem was like, I want a fast processor. Let me get Kirk. Yeah, the guy I had looking like a dancing bear. Yeah, that one. So it's just so funny. It's so funny, man, how the NFL, man, cycles, bro. Cycles.
Hey, what Matthew McConaughey saying, True Detective, time is a flat circle.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I think we'll go ahead and end this episode right on that, man. That was a good one. It was great hanging out with you, Cam. Great hanging out with everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have some comments, we would love to hear them. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna post this thing everywhere we can get it up at. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I keep forgetting, and I'm gonna have to put up a card in the beginning of the video and just start doing that because I'm never gonna remember to say that. So yeah, like and subscribe. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Anything you want to plug before you say bye, Cam?
Hey man, just keep liking the content. We enjoy putting it out.
All right, man. Well, have a good one, brother. Have a good night, everybody, and we signing out. Peace.
Yes, sir.